Hey everyone, Hans here. Hope everyone's doing well. So today, I wanted to make a video about the fear of what is real. It's a phenomenon of self-sabotage. It's a psychological thing that people sometimes do when they have been hurt their entire lives. They have had bad relationships, but they never really had friends. Their family, it's not too well, and at some point, some way, somehow, they're going to meet this one or these few people that are more trustworthy of who are more who they can build trust who they can build trust with. And the self-sabotaging is when that person who finally has that sense of recognition, that sense of belonging, and suddenly becomes afraid and thinks, but what if it's going to end? What if it's going to end and these people will stab me in the back like everyone else in my life did? They're going to Or they're just going to be away at some point and I'm going to be alone again. And then these people self-sabotage by picking a fight with those they trust or can't trust or running away. I've seen it before in the past, quite often in fact, from people you would least suspect it at times. And it's something we need to acknowledge. Because if we acknowledge such a phenomenon, that means that we can recognize it and perhaps do something about it. So, what what can one do? Or let's start with a bit of an analogy. Let's say that such people who never had real relationships or healthy relationships, they have lived their entire lives in a dark room. And at some point, at the door, through the keyhole, they see light for the first time. And the light gives them sight, it gives them warmth, gives them that feeling of, yes, this is what I've needed all my life. And they go to that door, the door that they perhaps didn't see before, because it was dark. And they grab the handle, because, why wouldn't you? Find out more about that light that you need, that you perhaps didn't know you needed. And suddenly, they push down the handle, about to pull the door open, and they think to themselves, but what if the light will be gone? What if the light will turn dark? What if the light simply will go away? And they let go of that door handle and they go sit back in a dark corner. Know what the result of that is? That you will have never, or that person will have never, in his or her life, have known the light and has been in the dark forever. Sometimes it's worth to take a leap of faith. Now you must use your head and you must be sensible. You cannot just befriend everyone at random. Everyone's friend is everyone's fool, as the saying goes. And it is difficult to find people you can trust in a society that is almost consistent of nothing but distrust. But there are people out there, and when you meet them and you have been talking with them for a while, whichever for you is long enough, and at some point you find that you agree on a lot, you have the same motivations, you have the same ambitions or similar ambitions, you know from one another that you can work together for a better tomorrow, for yourself and for others. There is going to come that point where you're going to have to decide, when you're going to have that door handle in your hands, and then you're gonna say, am I going to sling back into the dark, Or am I going to open the door, and for however long it takes, I will be in that light, so I at least will have known it. Maybe for a short while, but who knows, maybe for the rest of your life, which is actually far more common if you have good sense about you, and if you have a set of morals, if you have a virtue that you can share with others. What do you think? If you've seen people like that, maybe you've been there before, that you said, oh, these people, they seem motivated, they seem to have good hearts, and they seem to want the right things, they seem to love the right things. But what if they suddenly turn on me? What if they turn around? What if they change? What if they go away? Well, what if? Sure, people can change, but not that drastically, from my experience. If you can initially see what someone's morality is, are they caring, or are they selfish? Are they greedy, or are they what's the opposite of greedy? Are they greedy, or are they free giving? Is that the correct word? You know what I mean. Are they cowardly, or are they brave? Etc, etc. You can see that in someone quite quickly if you have an eye for it. And if you make yourself the measure stick, so to say. If you are brave, you're going to attract brave people around you and scare away cowards. If you are generous, that's the word. If you are generous, well, yeah, you may attract some greedy people who try to profit from your generosity, but then it's up to you actually to say, no, you're not getting anything from me anymore. Because I may be generous, but I'm no fool. And then the greedy people will leave, and other generous people will join your side. If you are caring, selfless in a way, and other people are uncaring and selfish, there is no working together there, and you can see that in people's behavior and in what they say. But you need to dare to measure people too, and hold them to such standards. If you just let anyone in, you're everyone's fool. And you're actually, again, like in a video that I made before, you're going to punish yourself if you let in just anyone. However, there is one important aspect to it too. When you then see people who signal all the right things, you have to be willing to take a leap of faith if you want to work with them. You have to be willing to make that initial step of trust. And that does not mean that then the judgment of these people ends there, because indeed people can change. But there is another aspect to it. You can hold people to account. You can say, well, our friendship is based on bravery, on being caring, on being selfless, on being brave. I already said that. On being generous. If you at some point become greedy, or cowardly, or whatever it's going to be, then you better change that very quickly, or this friendship is nullified by what you did, by what you choose to be. And yeah, then perhaps then the darkness may perhaps return for a while, although actually, personally, I doubt it. And at the very least, at that point, you have known that light. And guess what? Once you've known the light, you know where to find it, or how to find it too. because you've recognized it before, and you can do so again once more. You have to dare to face the real when it is presented in front of you. And we're all going to keep meeting people who are going to, they are good-hearted, they want the right things, but they're going to run away when things are really getting serious, when things start to manifest, because they're afraid of losing it. Don't be that person yourself, for your own sake, and for that of others. And to fall back in the dark at that point is very hard, because the light will eventually be in here. You will have memories that will want to keep you going. Remembrance is an important thing. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Don't really have anything else to add to that, I believe. So, yeah. It's like the Jesus. Be the God you were meant to be. And get out of the darkness. Have a good one, guys.